And as you see, the co-host is missing right now. She is taking. Oh, and there's the. Get in here, Carol. Carol's here as the sidekick, as Ed McMahon, and Beth is taking out the dogs because Rory's at work and that's their job. So her phone just went off. I don't know what it was, but probably a text. It's making all kinds of vibrations and rackets, and I'm scared of it, so she might yell. Speaking of, if you can't comment on the webpage right now, which if you're logged in, you should be able to. But if you can't, reach out through Facebook or text if you have my number, whatever, and connect with us so we can talk trash together. We have a few things to talk about, and one of them's a little bit sensitive. So while Beth stepped away, we're going to talk about our trip to Texas. And we're going to leave Carol in charge of Grandpa and the children. That might be a situation for Beth that we haven't talked about yet.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting. I'm going to gig her a little and see where she stands with that, because Beth is the type of person who would not leave the kids by them with anyone or by themselves until like I forced her into it. So it could be interesting. We shall see. And I'm like, you can take Grandpa, whatever. As long as you walk him when he needs walking and feed him, then we'll be good. That's something that we do have to talk about, the dogs.
Oh God, I'm gonna talk the dogs.
Well, Roy will too,
figure it
so
out.
you just have to coordinate, and because they're big dogs. But I know you can do it. I'm handsome on your phone.
You are handsome all the time.
Wow, like it must be your phone. It's magic. It's got a
It's
filter or
you.
something, huh? Okay, so check this out. See here, look. I'm out of screen, and crap, I stuck. Dang it! It's not fun now. So, because the tower slopes. So the tower slopes. So my chair, now that has wheels on it, I have actually a stop right here. So I have a box full of electrical cords that keeps me from flying out the window, like literally going off where the sidewalk ends. That's what I'm saying. So, I got a new hat. Carol, what do you think about my new hat?
So dapper.
Very dapper. Beth uses that word for real, and it is an old ass word.
That's why it's funny.
So we were watching Bates Motel, and Norma Bates says some old crap like market. Who goes to the market? Nobody goes to the market unless you're a little pig. To which you responded,
I didn't
you
realize.
didn't know what that meant.
I just thought they were going to the grocery store.
They
Why
were.
does the little piggy have to go slaughter?
Why would piggies be going to the grocery store?
I don't know.
Oh
This
my
little
gosh.
piggy ran home.
Okay, so yeah, because he's about to get killed and eaten because it's bacon.
This
And that's
little
horrible, which is why I'm a vegetarian. You, though, will stuff your face full of bacon.
Yeah, well.
Holy
bacon
cow.
on anything. Not eating.
Like, and I'm the soy boy that eats friggin' Facos. And they're delicious. And I eat the fake bacon, too. The frozen fake bacon. So I'm that person who has a very dapper hat that is a total, what did Alex say, soy boy? I'm a soy boy.
Mm-hmm.
So, but whatevs. I don't care. It's nobody's life but mine. So that's kind of what I want to talk about with Beth. Nobody's life but mine. Well, okay, so it really boils down to this. We're leaving the kids here to go to Texas to her dad's funeral. And leaving the kids and doing something that difficult is going to be something. And so it's a long drive, short time to get there. Oh, Smoking the Bandit. That's another one that we gotta watch. Smoking the Bandit.
I'm sure I've seen parts of that one.
It's Burt Reynolds. How can you not?
I'm sure I've seen it.
And then we have to watch Best Little Whorehouse in Texas because that also is Burt Reynolds, and now I'm thinking about Burt Reynolds. Anywho's it's and Texas. Maybe that's what we need to watch first. If y'all haven't watched Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, highly recommend. Burt Reynolds, Dolly Parton, can't go wrong with that combo. Have you seen it?
I'm sure I have.
and it's a musical.
Next.
Here she comes,
God.
Lady Elizabeth. Oh, you know you love my voice. You know it. You know it, baby. Right?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, okay. I was talking about my dapper hat. You can put your feet on the footrest. My stop. Here, look at that. See?
That's fancy.
Oh, your phone was making racket. Now, I got to think about what all I just talked about. Watch your feet. You know, I'm going to roll into them. Carol's deathly afraid I'm going to roll over her feet.
My toes, my piggy toes.
Your piggies that went to the market toes?
What are the other things? This little piggy.
This is a horrible thing to be singing or nursery rhyme, right? So this little piggy went to market. This little piggy stayed home. This little piggy had roast beef. This little piggy had none. This little piggy
All the way home.
Right.
So, if you're giving a piggy roast
Oh
beef,
God.
why is it so ridiculous to think about the little piggy going to the grocery store? That's not that far fetched,
Makes sense.
right? Because you made so much fun of me. All the other piggies were doing normal things.
Ring around the rosies.
Well, we all know, but when you're
Oh,
a
really?
child,
Okay.
we do now, but when you're a child, you don't think it's
Okay,
because of
for people. Oh my
freaking-
God, I'm just gonna roll right out of here. Give me a shove. Give me a shove. Okay, so for those of you who don't know that, ring around the rosies. Beth, that's about what?
It's a disease. Was it a plague?
Yeah,
Like
it
that.
was
Plague.
the Black Death, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so it was about, the smell of the dead.
Pocket full of posies.
Yeah.
Make it smell
The
better.
plague doctors cramming the flowers in their mask.
So it's very tragic and traumatic and awful all at the same time, and so is the Three Little Pigs, or not the Three Little Pigs. The whatever. Well, that one's
Well,
pretty
that was
tragic
traumatic
too.
But yes.
I mean, shoot, we were talking about that though with you. Like, what are the ends of your nursery rhymes and stories? Because it's not the same as ours.
Because my mommy made them nice.
Oh, so you had a good
Delusional
weathered,
mother.
a good weathered mother, good natured, or good weathered, whatever they
Weathered,
call it.
I don't know what that means. Yes, she didn't
Well,
have a lot
it
of wrinkles.
means-
She was beautiful. She weathered well.
Okay, I'm
I mean,
throwing
I don't
something
know
at
what
you.
that means.
Like nature. So when you say weathered, it's the same as nature. So
I
good
prefer
natured friend.
delusional. Yes, she
Okay.
was delusional.
Well, I wasn't gonna be mean like that, but sure, we'll go with that. So she blew sunshine up your butt.
Yes.
Okay, so one of those things that she said was what? Give me something
Um,
far fetched.
I don't know, like the whole rockabye baby.
Rockabye baby in the treetop. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock.
If
When the bough breaks, the cradle will fall, and down will come baby, cradle and all.
No,
You're
but
so-
mommy's got baby, cradle and all.
but mommy's got baby, cradle and all. So she tried to shelter you from the obscene truth.
Yeah. I think that ever happened.
Right, and you know what super sucks about that is when you do that, then you're not prepared for death when you get older, and then you have a total crisis.
Or yeah, because when I was 6, my grandmother died. Then I was 7, my grandfather died, and then when I was 9, my father died. So I wasn't
Yeah,
really
so-
prepared for any of those.
Right, and that's what sucks, because that's why she tried to make everything so great, because she wanted to shield you from the ugly truth.
It worked so well.
Right, and now you're all what?
Disassociated.
No, you're doing very well. You're doing very very well considering, truly.
Moving
But-
back to the situation at hand.
Yeah, we are going to go to your dad's funeral, Beth. I know that it's going to be a tough time, and we talked about that a little bit today. And something that I said was the main reason why we're nervous about it is fear, because when you say you're nervous about something, you're fearful of what's to come, right? Or you don't know what's to come.
Yeah, fear of the unknown.
So whenever we looked at the fear of the unknown, my actual fear is COVID, not the fear of the unknown. My fear is because I have that thing, that tells me you're going to get sick and die. I don't like that thing. So I don't want to think about not protecting myself enough. And so I'm insecure about how well I manage myself. And because I worry about that, I worry about catching COVID.
Right.
because I can't trust myself. Now, aside from that, that's the only reason why I'm nervous. I love to drive, so the trip there's going to be a great time for me to drive my car. I don't like the gas prices. That's obscene, but that's irrelevant to what we need to do. It's cheaper than an airplane trip. And back to the fun part. If I have to spend money for a little bit of leisurely drive to help you heal, it seems like a good plan to me. So what were you nervous about? You had a fear of what?
Some of my family members have never seen me since I started my transition. You know, maybe, I don't know if they've seen me on Facebook or not. But it's an anxiety. I know that, you know, there's a good percentage of them that have seen me, and nobody cares, which is the way I want it.
I'm gonna move that. Okay, so what do you mean nobody cares? Because a lot of people care. I think that that's the wrong phrase.
Well, I just, you know, want people to...
Nobody's thinking about that, maybe?
Yeah, just, it doesn't need to be a thing.
But it
you
is
know,
in
we're
your
going
mind.
to Texas, and, you know...
That's the place of trauma. Just say it. That's the place of trauma. That's where we're going back to, you know, as a place that wasn't always so kind.
Yeah.
And
I mean, all my family's been pretty good about it so far, so...
And the worst thing that can happen is we leave.
Yeah.
We leave Texas, right? So the worst thing that can happen if Texas sucks, we come home because we don't live in Texas.
Yeah.
Right? It's like whenever you have grandkids. If they suck, you send them home. You're like, no, Trampa don't want to play today. Bye.
Trampa.
That's going to be my name. I'm Trampa. So, you know, maybe we'll connect with friends, Derek, while we're there.
Maybe.
And I'll try to get him sold on getting a medical marijuana card. But outside of that, we're really going for you to say goodbye to your dad. Are you ready for that?
Yeah, I'm ready just to be done with it.
You know, I think what's really cool is that not just your kids, but other people who struggle with the grieving process as an adult get to watch you grieve as an adult, because we come live every week. And it's hard to hide shit live. Right? You know, so it's those little things we notice. Carol and I and the kids and probably my dad notice when your mood shifts, maybe what's surrounding it, just like you notice about us, right? You know, when my dad's really heavy in thought, you know, because he's quiet. Carol, you know that, like, and it's almost scary, right? You're like, oh, he's planning some shit. I don't know what. And you're scared of what he's going to bring home the next day because he's got this great project. So, what do you think that you do when you're deep in thought? Because we know what you do. And when I say deep in thought, I mean like kind of lost in your own head.
I'll stare out into space.
Yeah.
That's one of my big things. It's like, it's just the position I'm sitting in. That's all. Nothing here.
And we've seen that a couple of times just since we started the podcast, and that's why I wanted to point it out, because it's interesting to see if other people can hold you accountable for
I can
that.
still hear everything.
Right. We all,
You know, and oftentimes
Butters.
I'm actually listening to what you're saying, even if I'm not looking at you.
right, we all do it. We're all guilty of it. You ain't special.
Yeah, I know, but sometimes I'm not there.
Right. So how do you bring yourself back, especially when you're in grief? And you personally is what I mean.
I guess, you know, it's really my spiritual faith, I guess, that really helps me to process it and deal with it in a way that doesn't seem so final.
You know, I just went somewhere. Gotta have faith. I went to a George Michael video.
Lord.
Yeah, that's what happens
Lord.
to me. But you see, that's that stupid thing that I have.
Yeah, I
you
do
know?
it too. Somebody says the
Right.
right, the right words, then it'll go to
So do you
something
know
in my
why we
head.
do that?
They're like mnemonic responses.
But it's a coping mechanism to keep ourselves from feeling what we're hearing. Because you started talking about, having faith, as what helps you grieve. Well, I still am grieving also, and not your dad. But I'm still also grieving, and so I have those parts of me that get excited when someone starts talking about their grieving process, right? Because then it makes me think of my own. And so I lose myself for a minute. So as soon as you said faith, I found a song to put it into, because when I'm stressed out, I sing. And Carol does too. Just
Is
saying.
it sing or do you go sing song? There's a little bit of a difference.
Yeah, there is. Passive
If you're like,
aggressive
if you
is
start
sing
singing
song.
the song, that's one thing. But if you're like, I'm gonna kill you,
Yeah. Sing song.
That's sing song.
Yeah, that's a different thing. And when we do that, yes, we can both agree that that's a fuse.
Just wait till you go to sleep.
Right. Yeah. That's yeah. I just sing I'm gonna whoop somebody's ass. So now I just hum it so nobody knows my scheme. So I talked about my new hat. What do you think about it?
I like it. It's my favorite one.
I like it. And Carol likes it too. So I guess that's 2 thumbs up for me. So now y'all have to tell me, can you even see it? What are you looking forward to for closure?
I guess that, after it's over, then I can just finally just let it go. I don't have to think about it anymore.
The process itself or the
Yeah.
emotions?
Well, probably won't let go of the emotions, but I don't have to think about, this hasn't happened yet. Still have to see this. Still have to do this.
Okay. So because you've been anticipating your dad's death for a while.
Yeah, this will be my 27th funeral.
27th?
Yep.
You actually keep count?
I did for a while. This is the last time I counted, it was up to 27.
I don't know how many I've been to. Do you, Carol?
How many funerals?
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I do know it's the 4th anniversary of my mom's funeral, and that was the last one I went to, but probably 10 or 15.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. I've been to a lot. Holy cow. We had a couple of funerals in school.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went to four friends. Geez, Butters. So I hope you're watching this, TJ, and hearing this. Butters likes to be on camera. But although that sounded a bit like Gus Gus, so it could have been Gus Gus. I'm going to start calling Gus Gus Wheezy. Because
He's kind of a wheezy.
he is. And Norman and Nico sound completely different.
No, who's the one that's always yelling? That's Gus Gus, right? So wheezy works.
Yeah. Well, Butters is usually talking, but Gus Gus is usually wheezing. So you'll have to take care of the chinchillas while we're gone too.
Yep.
You've got so much responsibility in one house. What's it like to be the ringmaster of the McReynolds clan?
All powerful.
I know you need like a microphone. Who organizes this mess?
Queen Elizabeth. I just need my crown and scepter.
Right. It takes a village to raise us, right?
Yes.
And especially when you have a team leader like me.
Yeah.
But there's always something happening, so it doesn't get boring. And when it does get boring, I just start a podcast or two or a group. So I started this group, and it's for preteens and teens, ages 12 to 18, maybe 18 plus. at risk for self-harming behavior. And there are certain things that qualify, kids to be in that category, at risk. Would you have considered yourself an at-risk teen?
Absolutely.
Would you? I wouldn't have. I look back at myself and I'm like, oh, I wasn't at risk at all. But I was dumb. And so in hindsight, I can look back and go, oh yeah, I was totally at risk. But at the time, I had no idea. I thought that I was pretty standard. But I didn't have a whole lot of diversity. The town I grew up in was teeny tiny. And then we moved to Greenville.
Yeah. Ugh.
And that wasn't real diverse. I mean, it was more diverse than where I came from, but you were from all over. You were from military environments, so you had diversity, and then you moved to Greenville, so I really feel bad for you. I had
did
culture
when
shock.
I lived in Tennessee. It was seemed like a step backwards.
Podunk. So you're from North Carolina, so you're familiar with Podunk.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. You've got to give me some pushback.
Well, I mean, yeah. We moved around a lot too, but just in North Carolina.
And see, I could insert North Carolina joke right there about moving around only in North Carolina, but you do it in Texas too. I moved all over Texas, before I actually, you talked about 27 funerals. I've had 30 houses. So it's like, that's how I gauge my life. What house did I live in? And you can gauge your life by how many funerals or whose funeral about that time.
Jason's was 26.
Yep. My buddy Jason. So Jason's one of those great guys that we went to school with, and he suffered epilepsy pretty bad, and he had really bad seizures. Now, Jason lived with our buddy Steve, and Steve's a wonderful guy, and we've been friends with him too. So all of us friends, and so Steve really looked out for Jason, and Jason was moving his boys into the house with him because he hadn't lived with his boys in a long time. So he moves them in and quits smoking pot so he can be legit, because in Texas you can't smoke pot. So he quit smoking pot and went to pharmaceuticals and ended up having a seizure that killed him in the middle of the night. It really sucked. Same thing happened with my buddy Doug. Almost the same story. And that's what made me an advocate. So I know for us it works, and that's one of those things that you're also going to do for yourself while you grieve, is make sure that your PTSD is treated appropriately with what you choose to medicate with. So that means you get to sit back and get baked and eat chips. Right? Isn't that what people think? Isn't it?
Funyuns.
Oh, Funyuns. Well,
And bugles.
people think that, and it's my job to say, well, that would be a more recreational use of it, but you can do that if you want. And I won't say anything, because I'm like, more power to you. If that's what you do instead of drink, I'm happy. But whenever you use it as medicine, you use it on a regular schedule. You dose low, dose slow, and figure out what works for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be bumping that up for you and see how you do with that, because sometimes that's what it takes when you struggle with disorder. And that's really what it is, disorder in your life, chaos, interruption. And if you have emotional disorders, character disorders, or personality disorders, intellectual disorders, cognitive disorders, physical disorders, you have spiritual disorders, your life can just be in disorder. Where do you think you are on the disorder scale?
What, like a scale of 1 to 10?
Yeah, I'm like a tsunami.
Gosh, I'm pretty far up
I
there.
touch all those spots.
Um,
But it's getting better.
I'm trying to keep it together, so it's I'd say I'm probably.
Did you literally sitting next to me say trying? Did you hear her say
well, so
trying?
far I'm
The
doing
only
all right.
no word I really have is trying.
And so but I would say I was probably a good 6 or 7.
Hey, so first change trying and say you're doing, because you are. You are holding it together, right? But the question is, do you have to?
Yes,
Why?
because I can be pretty destructive.
Okay, why? Why do you choose to be destructive?
I don't know. I think it's in an effort to make myself feel
Predictable.
more pain, physically as opposed to emotionally.
It's predictable. That's why. That's why you do it, because it's the only thing you know for certain. And that's why self-harm's a big deal, because, you feel something, some sort of disorder in your life, and you can run to self-harm to reorganize things and let you know you're still in control.
Yeah.
Right? And that's
doesn't really work.
Right, but
the efforts
that's
to cancel it out.
Right, but that's what it feels like, doesn't it? It really feels that way. It feels like that's the only choice sometimes. And so that's why I started the support group, was because you can feel that strong disorder through grief, even through moves, through, normal everyday crap. What if you get married and realize that you really can't stand the person?
That would be a bummer.
Yeah, but that happens. It does. It
did.
happens. Yeah. And so one day you wake up and realize your life super sucks. What do you do about it? Do you just roll over and die and say, "Oh, my life sucks. I deserve this," or do you say, it's one step at a time. I need to heal, and there's going to be something on the other side. I have faith, and you said you had faith, and so that right there is, enough for you. That's why you do it. That's why every day you say, you know what, I have to do it. I have to be solid. Because you gotta have faith. But you're showing us that too, right? Don't you think?
Yes.
Because we've talked about it before. You're going to be ringmaster in this mess. It's going to be something. I think that we all learn as individuals from other people's hardships, just like they do, right? So, like, I don't look at Hollywood and look for all the success in Hollywood, because I don't live in Hollywood. My money's not there, right? So I don't care who's successful. What I care about is what's going to affect me on the downline, right? So what's going to affect box office stuff is bad press. So I care whether Hollywood looks good if I'm invested in, the theater. But overall, I could say I don't give a crap what other people are doing. Just I want to be entertained and happy, and I am going to be getting some chocolate milk on the road. That's my little treat to myself on road trip. So, on the way to Texas, we will be getting burritos.
Well, we're not going to hit the first all-subs until... God.
I don't care. Look, I'm going to say it. I'm saying it on camera. I'm going to break my vegetarianism for an all-subs burrito.
You'll take a bite out of it and then hand it over to me.
You're right. I did that last time. Wasn't I going to do that last time? I think I was.
God,
I think I got ballsy and smelled it and was like, "Oh, this is going to be bad."
Remember that one time that we just we just gorged on it?
Oh my God,
we each ate like 4 of them.
Oh, and the bag was so clear, it looked like everything was going to fall out.
It was so greasy.
Oh, it was so fantastic.
Delicious.
And they had been under the heat lamp so long that the stuff in the corners was dried. Yeah, super crispy on the outside, and the beans were kind of dried on the inside. It's fantastic. Damn it. Now I want an all-subs burrito. You know what I think it is? I think it's chili inside a wonton wrapper fried.
That sounds good.
In my mind, that's what it is. You?
Yeah, I mean, because
It's like an egg roll, but with chili.
The way it's fried so much, it's it's tough like wonton.
So all subs, please sponsor us.
Lifetime of free burritos.
I'll do anything to be sponsored by Allsups and get some of that delicious Allsups burritos. Do you have any real concerns about our transsexualism? That's tough to say.
What?
Yeah, that's the real term. Like, that's the medical diagnosis for what we have is transsexualism. So that's on, like, all our shady paperwork, all our medical stuff. It's like, this person's being treated for transsexualism. So do you have any concerns about that?
Nothing more than the bathroom.
Because I'm pretty dapper. I'm hard to hide. I mean, I'm like that big bull in the china shop. So the only thing that would make me stand out more is if instead of tie-dyed it was pride. A pride scarf with glitter. And don't put it past me because I do have a unicorn suit that I could wear. Oh my God. No, I won't. We're going to get a hotel is what we're going to do. And we're going to do that as to not bother the dynamic of things. And try to disrupt them as little as possible.
Christopher's going to be there too.
Oh, so, okay. Christopher is your half-brother.
Yes.
And so that's going to be nice to see him. So we'll be able to have good conversations about that.
Maybe.
This really is just a time that we're taking for ourselves. And so we haven't been as active socially. We've been kind of struggling with all that. And I have a hangnail because I've been...
Hangnails are fun.
Yeah. And so I have to make sure that I have... If Lori is on and watching, I won't be here Tuesday for session. Tim, Monday. So we're going to be gone Monday through Friday, right? 5 days?
No. Well, it's only we're going to
14th, 15th, 16th, and drive home 4 days.
No, we're going to leave on the 16th.
3 days.
The 15th is a funeral. On the 16th, we're leaving.
You're leaving on the 14th.
We're driving up there on the 14th. Funeral on the
14th
15th,
is
and then
Monday.
driving back on
15th.
the 16th.
So, okay.
I did not commit to 5 days.
I know that's I,
Me
well, I
neither.
was counting. I was like, it's 5 days, right? Because. All right. So I will
I'll
be
in
back.
the trunk.
So
I'll
I
let
will
your
be
dad
back
handle
then.
it.
I will be gone Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Correct?
Yes.
Jeez. All right. So I will be here Thursday for everybody. Man, I feel like I just got chewed out in class. Okay, so I want to talk about something wonderful.
What?
Me.
Okay.
Geez, she totally didn't even fall into that. She just stared at me. She didn't
I was
even
waiting for you to
get it.
finish it. And I was like, what?
I figured you'd go, you? Okay, so how do you think we're going to be able... Oh, Lord, I don't even want to ask. How do you think we're going to be able to get the rest of Carol's stuff in the house? Because she is also going on a road trip. She's going back to help Trinity. Yeah, but nonetheless, you're going on a road trip, and it brought to mind that at some point you're going to be bringing other stuff. So, look, did you hear? She's like already, no, we can't put anything else in here, not for 10 more
once
years.
I clean up my nightstand, then that can go
That
on.
is so cute. I love that. She has things.
I know, but that was just something.
That's adorable. Yeah, I have one of those too. She's gonna fall off the couch right now. She's snorting. She's snorting. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, you have a few other things. We don't even.
I know there's more things.
We don't even have a closet right now.
Walking closet of house.
So we celebrated your birthday in a really weird way. We left you alone.
That's great.
we bought you chocolate cake and handed it to you with a fork and left the room.
It was the best cake ever.
It was the best cake and the best time ever.
Yes.
And then we watched TV together and
Got pizza.
and had pizza,
Delicious
which
pizza.
was fantastic. Oh yeah,
Which I might have some more here in a little bit.
which
If the
she
kids
ate
haven't-
all the bacon off of.
If the kids haven't
Because
eaten the rest
that's the
of
way I like my pizza.
Okay, so can I just ask you why you don't just put it on like in the oven, like in the toaster oven, so it retoasts,
'Cause
so
I
it's
didn't
not
wanna bother
microwaved.
I didn't
Oh
want-
yeah, you
'cause
can't
I-
use my
I
shit because
can't
it's
use
meat,
yours.
but you can use the toaster oven in there, which is what Beth did.
I was too far away.
Yeah.
It was really far.
So
A
wow,
long walk.
this is, and it was your birthday, so nobody would have taken it over there, but that's okay. Oh, but today wasn't. Today was leftover day, so
Yes,
you did have it this morning.
I did. I had it for breakfast.
I had candy for breakfast.
We're such a healthy household.
I know, this is awful, but it's not going to be for long. I keep saying that, but it's really happening. It snowed today, and that was dumb. So I don't do it. You stop celebrating. So Carol has this stupid love affair with snow. And I don't want to talk about it because I don't. I don't share the love affair.
Snow is fun.
No,
Snow's
it's not.
pretty.
Y'all can just stop. Sonny Bono didn't think it was very pretty for very long.
Oh.
And that's what happens.
It did until that tree came up and got
Right, but that's what happens. That, it's
What?
terrible.
it.
Oh my God! Don't watch him. He'll make eye
He's putting a
contact
show
with
on
you and
for
make
you.
it.
He's like,
He
"Watch
makes
me.
it awkward.
Watch me.
I have 4 chinchillas, and he's
Oh,
putting on
God.
a show for Carol right now, and that's unfortunate.
I thought it was a stick.
Oh my
No.
God!
It's not a stick.
It's not a stick. No, he's not chewing on a stick. Okay, well that is a good segue to we've been on 36 minutes, and that's
I'm gonna
long
take a
enough.
shower.
Yeah, I
My
know,
eyeballs.
it's pretty disgusting,
Yeah.
especially when he makes eye contact with
Yeah.
you and finishes.
I don't think we can top that one.
Yeah, thanks Nico, thanks for that.
How are your retinas?
Anyway, so we're going on a trip in a crazy rocket ship, and that makes me think of all of my friends. So good night to Joe and Karen and Chris and Mandy and Jill and Nathan and Sarah and Frank and Donna and
Pooja.
Lindsay and Pooja and yes, John Boy. And of course TJ and Bree and Tim and all of the other wonderful clients that I have.
You should just make a credit. It's like special thanks.
I had one. See, don't you miss the old format now that we do it live? I don't miss doing all the podcast video and
editing.
stuff.
It's
Yeah.
Nightmare.
I don't miss that. Plus, I like being who I am. Carol's already rolling her eyes, and we made it. And 1, 2, 3, and thank you, everybody. Good night.